Platform fighters have been on the rise for years, and whether you love or hate them, they aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Now there are a lot of companies that have produced very popular traditional fighting game franchises. You have Capcom with Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, Bandai Namco with Tekken and Soul Calibur, Arc System Works with Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, and also Fighter Z. Even though it's not a series, it's one of the most popular fighting games. NetherRealm Studios with Mortal Kombat and Injustice. The list goes on, but I can only name a handful of companies that have published popular platform fighting games. Nintendo with Super Smash Bros, Blue Mammoth Games, which is a Ubisoft studio with Brawlhalla, and Warner Brothers with Multiversus. And out of that list, only one of them has a series. But also that handful is at the top when it comes to the most played fighting games currently. Now why is that? Is it because the genre is trending and it will eventually slow down? Or is there more to it? Today, we're going to look at the most popular platform fighters and break down why they're so popular. If you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel out, and you can unsub later if you change your mind. There are a lot of factors that go into why a game is so successful, but in terms of platform fighters, I think there are 3 main reasons, and I'll go through each one of them and talk about which game took advantage of it the most. Accessibility is what allowed Brawlhalla to be as successful as it is. It's free to play, so there's no risk in trying the game because you don't have to spend any money on it. And it's also not the predatory type of free to play where DLC or certain characters are locked behind paywalls. Every single character is free. You can unlock them using the gold coins you get from playing the game. Now you can't just pay to unlock every character and even future characters, but I've had no problem unlocking every character for free. And everything that's sold to you in the shop is purely cosmetics. No DLC characters, no extra stages, just skins, taunts, and stuff for your profile. And on top of it being free, it is literally on every platform. PC, Xbox, PlayStation, it's even on the Switch and mobile, cross-playable between all of them too. Because it's not a graphically intensive game, it can run on anything. It's impressive if you think about how many people have access to the game, and the numbers don't lie. It has the second highest average play count on Steam, with Multiversus being first. It has over 10 million downloads on Google Play, and I can only assume that the console and iOS downloads are high as well. Another thing that's impressive is the longevity of Brawlhalla's player count. You can see that a lot of other games peaked for a short amount of time and then dipped down, but Brawlhalla has been consistent for a while, and even though it's at its lowest it's been for the past 2 years, it's still doubled the highest traditional fighting game on Steam, which is Tekken. The way Super Smash Bros. Got its popularity is way different compared to the rest of the genre. It's also why they have the privilege of not having to make their games free to play. Smash Bros. Has reputation. It's not just a single game like Brawlhalla or Multiversus. It's a series with 5 games under its belt. The original Smash Bros, Melee, Brawl, 3DS and Wii version, which is usually referred to as Smash 4, and most recently Ultimate. Another big factor is that it's produced by Nintendo, which is one of the biggest video game companies. So with the success of previous Nintendo games, the first iteration of Smash Bros was no different. It sold over 5.5 million copies, and since then, every sequel after it has sold more than the last by an exponential amount. Except for Smash 4, which basically split its sales between the 3DS and Wii, so I can see why that happened. But Smash Ultimate is not only the biggest of the bunch, but Nintendo's 3rd best-selling game on the Switch, only losing to Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing. So if the trend continues, the next Smash Bros. Games should do pretty well to say the least. Smash Bros. Was also one of the first platform fighting games. I believe it was second to the Outfoxies, so it was definitely able to capitalize on being an early pioneer. And finally, Multiversus. It's accessible like Brawlhalla, and it also has reputation because the Warner Brothers have published other successful fighting games like Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Trust me, I made the mistake of forgetting that the Warner Brothers published those 2 games, and I definitely paid the price for it. But I think Multiversus' best selling point is their characters. Every single character is completely different from each other, not only in looks, but also in the way they play against their enemies and interact with their teammates. It has the biggest character size difference out of the other 2 platform fighters that I mentioned, and their character pool could honestly be well over 1,000 if they really wanted it to be that big. I mean, think about it, anything owned by the Warner Brothers could be in the game. All of the Looney Tunes characters, superheroes like Batman and Superman. I mean, just look at their latest release, which was Rick and Morty. I didn't even know they were owned by the Warner Brothers until now. But yeah, they'll never have to worry about adding new characters. Multiversus has also brought a new audience to the world of fighting games. If you played Smash Ultimate, you probably played previous Smash games or other Nintendo games since you own a Nintendo console. If you play Brawlhalla, there's a pretty good chance you either played Smash or wanted to play but played Brawlhalla instead because it was accessible. But for multiverses, they're getting the attention of both the Smash and Brawlhalla community, as well as bringing in new people because their characters are from famous movies and TV shows. So someone might see a clip on social media of Shaggy beating up Bugs Bunny and will think to themselves, hey, that game looks pretty interesting, let me try it out, and they'll download it because it's free. So if Multiversus has a unique roster, the company publishing it is well known, and the game is free to play with crossplay in both console and PC, the game had to have performed well, right? Well is an understatement. It had over 144,000 concurrent players on the first day of open beta. That's not only unheard of for a fighting game, but really good for a game in general. It blew every other fighting game on Steam out of the water. Some of you are probably screaming at me, saying why I didn't mention Rivals of Aether at all. To put it simply, the game just isn't as popular. As cool as it is, I think the biggest reason for that is that the game cost $30 to play. Don't get me wrong, I think the game is worth $30, but it could have been just as popular as Brawlhalla if they decided to go the free-to-play route. Because Rivals of Aether is actually doing what I thought Brawlhalla would do at some point. They've tapped into the custom workshop aspect. People can create, upload, and download custom characters that you or other people make. This unlocks all sorts of potential in terms of having new content to play, and it's great for the casual side of the game, where you're playing with your friends. But Rivals' problem is their matchmaking, especially for newer players. Because the game isn't that popular, you're either playing unranked against people who have played the game for a while, or you're looking in the Discord for new players. But if Rivals was free to play, it would have an influx of new players, allowing the matchmaking system to be feasible. Because to be honest, the game won't grow unless new players are enjoying and staying. Now, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. This video is not me hating on traditional fighting games. In my last video, I literally spent most of it talking about Guilty Gear. I just find it really interesting how popular platform fighters have gotten in recent years. But something that all of these platform fighters have in common other than their genre is that their player base mostly consists of people who haven't played traditional fighting games. This is very apparent when it comes to the disconnect between the fighting game community and the community of people who play platform fighters. I think the reason for this honestly comes down to different eras of fighting games. The FGC was originally built around people gathering around arcades, while platform fighters were built around people gathering around at consoles in their houses. It's just two different communities, and they don't necessarily have to be together. I used to not understand why platform fighters weren't accepted as FGC games, but I realize now that they don't necessarily need to be a part of it. Smash and Brawlhalla have spent years and a lot of money cultivating their own scene, so to just become a part of the FGC after spending all of that effort would feel like a waste of time. But that doesn't mean the two groups have to hate each other. One is not better than the other. They're both great, just different. Overall, I'm excited to see what the future holds for multiverses and platform fighters as a whole. I know that Framemakers is another one that's coming soon, so I'm excited to see how that game looks, and I'll probably make a video on it at some point. Now, this video isn't sponsored by anyone, but I want to let you guys know that I started a Patreon where I'll upload exclusive videos there, as well as other content like behind the scenes of new videos and how I edit them. So if you want to help support the channel as well as get some extra content out of it, then you can subscribe there. And even if you decide not to, just watching this video helps a lot. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Do you think traditional fighters should be free to play as well? I know a lot of people are speculating that Project L will be free to play, so maybe other games will do the same. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, join the Discord if you want to hang out with us, and make sure to check my Twitter as well. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.